My name is Ashlee Amos. I'm from Northeast Maryland, and I have marched in Delaware from 2017 to 2019, Hawthorne Caballeros from 2017 to supposed to be 2020, and then I marched AMP 2020 and 2021 this season, whatever is left of the season. I also did baton twirling with the Blazers, which is a group that my mom and dad had from when I was born until about 2009, and then I twirled with Wheaton dance twirl teams from then until 2016. And I'm so excited to go inside the shot with Chris.
Hey everybody, it's Chris Marr. So excited to have Ashlee Amos here to look at some of her photos. She's had a long career in the pageantry arts. I've only gotten to know her just in the last few years, pretty much dating to her time with the Caballeros. And so we're gonna look at some of her photos and talk about her career. So let's take a look at the first shot.
Oh, this is one of my favorite pictures. I always forget this picture is like exists, but then I go back and look at it, and it's definitely one of my favorites. I think in 2017, I didn't know how to spin any weapons at all. I danced, I did flag, I didn't know how to spin a saber yet. So it was definitely a good year to open up my color guard opportunities and see where I was gonna land. But yeah, it was a good first year at Delaware.
So what was that show about? I remember that show starting out with two people kind of in contention with each other. Is my recollection of it, and then it was kind of had a little bit of a Western theme, as I recall. What was that show about?
It was called This Town, and it was like this town ain't big enough for the both of us, that kind of vibe. So it was really cutesy. It was independent A class. I think we made semis that year in Dayton.
All right, well, very good. Let's take a look at the next photo.
Okay, that is from Collegiate Band Festival last year. I can tell because I wasn't wearing tights in that picture because all my tights had runs in them. So, and Collegiate's always been one of my favorite performances to do, and I'm so lucky that I've got to be there with University of Delaware for 4 years as a Golden Girl twirling. So I'll always cherish my time there at J. Bernie Crum. So, and I always love seeing like all my friends from drum corps at their colleges twirling or doing color guard or playing music or playing an instrument, anything like that. I like seeing all my friends there.
Collegiate is, I mean, it's quite an event. I think people who are, not from this area don't really understand how amazing that day is. 20 college bands just coming out to just perform for the crowd. It's just a wild, fun time. I remember going there, many years ago, just bringing my kids for essentially college visits. People will bring their kids there to go check out all the booths and see which marching bands they like. It's quite a day. One of the reasons I wanted to look at that photo is I wanted to talk about your twirling, as I understand that's been a big part of your life. And for me, as a marching arts photographer, I don't see a lot of twirling. I do see some, so I shoot for TOB, so we do get a little bit of twirling. But I find it hard to capture the excitement of twirling because there's so much movement in the baton that makes it interesting. Whereas with a rifle, it doesn't move as much, and you can catch it and you can get a shot where it's in the air or something, and it's interesting. But as a twirler, what kind of photos do you think really showcase that activity? What are you looking for in a good twirler photo?
Usually, I get most of my good ones like when it's like at an ending pose or like the beginning of a routine. It's usually at the very, very end, like when I like caught my last trick, did the last thing, and like you can just see the excitement on my face from having a great performance and just knowing that I put my best out on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little frustrating with like some of the moves that twirlers do, and you think all the stuff happens, and then there's the final moment. You catch the final moment. It's like, but how was I supposed to have caught all that other stuff that really made it impressive? So I still struggle with that. But I love getting down low with my photography, and that's how that shot was taken, and it felt like it captured that there really was something going on, in the movement of the baton. As you were essentially dancing with it. It's how it looks to me is the twirler dancing with the baton, and how that comes out. Okay, so we have another photo.
All right, this was Caballeros 2019, last year. That's probably one of my favorite seasons I've ever marched with Cabs. it was just so eye-opening, and everyone was, it's so cliche to say it's just like a big family, but it really is. And I think that was the opener. I think that was a flag. So that was the intro to the show. Definitely one of the best intros I've ever marched in.
Okay. I think one of the things with that photo is you seem to be camera aware at that moment. You were
Yeah.
really looking at each other and saying, "Okay, we're good. We're doing this. We're taking this picture right now." So, I always like when I feel like that connection happened as opposed to the person's on the field and they're just doing their thing and I'm just doing my thing. So that was, I'm pretty sure that was at that stadium in Connecticut, Kennedy Stadium.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They've like been really in their comfort zone with the music and the performances, but last year we tried to go out of our box to like branch out and see what other kind of music we could get into, and like try to see what other kinds of styles that we can perform to, and just see like if we can be a different kind of caballero but still have the traditional caballero at heart.
Okay, so we have one more guard shot to take a look at.
Okay, this is AMP 2020. It looks like it was at South Brunswick. That was such an amazing opportunity to get to march with all of those people that I've admired for years. So like seeing John and Olivia used to twirl, and her sister, like seeing how she fits into the color guard world, and like seeing how her twirling skills have been incorporated into color guard, and just seeing how all of those people are just so amazing. They're like such great performers and they're so talented. So glad I can call all of them my friends. But it was definitely an eye-opening season for me. Definitely pushed myself to just be a better performer and get better at my technique, especially.
Yeah, so much that was happening in that show, and you're right there. I mean, there's so many superstars in this, in the color guard world that are in that group. But I remember, capturing you a couple of times, a couple of moments during those shows. A couple of times I saw you, and the joy on your face of just being out there, and you can see that in that photo. And that you see that in a lot of your photos. You just love to perform. At least how it looks to me.
Last year I actually got not yelled at, but there were several people that were like, "This is a serious show. You can't be smiling all the time." I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
It's hard when if you're just having a grand time out there to get the face maybe that matches the show theme. But yeah, so that's great. I understand we have a special photo to take a look at, something from maybe way back.
Oh man. Oh, where'd I go? Oh wow, I don't even know what year that was. I was baby. Me and my mom just went through like all of her pictures in her room of this was in Blazers. I think I was probably like 3 or 4, something like that. So my mom and my dad had a baton, drum corps, color guard. It was like a little bit of everything. They had that before me and my brother were born, and then we were kind of just born into it. So got taken to nationals when we were about a year old, I think. So been to almost every single one since then. That was probably at nationals. I remember like seeing all of these pictures just makes me so nostalgic, and I wish I didn't take it for granted, but I was so young, so kind of just didn't really think about it. But I definitely cherish all the time and all the memories that I have with Blazers, and being able to experience that with your family, and like having your family around, even though it's not like family time, it's still nice to like be able to bond with them over something that's not typical of a normal family. Like we're all involved. Like right now, me and my mom teach the color guard at the high school, which is actually right behind my house. My dad's the assistant band director, and my brother works with the percussion. So we can like take all of our experience that we've had in color guard, twirling, percussion, everything from Blazers, and like put it into the high school that we teach. So I think that's definitely something not a lot of people can say that they do.
Yeah, that's amazing. I didn't know all about that part of your family, but I know your mom. I met her a couple of times, and I think I met your dad once. I'm not sure, but I didn't know that the history went that far back. So it was exciting to learn that about you.
Yeah.
So what are your plans, for the future in this activity?
For the future, I plan, well, right now I'm marching AMP 2021. We're doing like an inside like theater kind of show. So it's kind of like a music video production. I'm still teaching at Rising Sun High School with my mom and the rest of my family teaching color guard. I would like to expand out to other schools and maybe help out at University of Delaware with the Golden Girls once COVID restrictions are lifted and I can actually go there.
Well, it's been just a real pleasure chatting with you and looking at your photos and hearing a little bit about your history and the activity, and wish you the best as you move forward.
Thank you. It was really fun going through all of my old photos with Chris Smart and looking inside the shot, looking from one of my first photos from twirling with my mom to one of my most recent photos with AMP in 2020. And I'm so grateful for everything that you do for me, Chris, and catching every single moment, especially all of the joy that you can see on my face.